When I think of my time in detention, I think of so many ways I could have died there. The way my car was stopped in the middle of the road, the diseases I could have caught at the Whipple, the driver who was falling asleep at the wheel driving us from El Paso to New Mexico. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct.
In the end, Oscar was detained for 18 days.
And that was a crazy story to hear what actually happened to him being detained.
David Kestenbaum.
Most of the time he was detained was after the judge had
Julie
ordered
Lee,
his
the
release.
attorney in the transcript, has since been reassigned. The declaration of O was read by Marquise Rodriguez. Rich Summer read the court transcript. We reached out to the Department of Justice for comment, got the following statement that reads in part: if rogue judges followed the law in adjudicating cases that respected the government's obligation to properly prepare cases, there wouldn't be an overwhelming habeas caseload or concern over DHS following orders.
What? No, if you stopped kidnapping people, there wouldn't be a caseload. Anyway, that was a great report, but I don't know why they had to let the Nazis have the last word, because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth hearing the Nazi take on it. But yeah, the judge ordered that guy released, and then they just kept torturing him and telling him to, that he could self-deport, trying to get him to self-deport anyway, weeks after he was ordered released by a judge.
800 episodes for absolutely free.
Thanks for being here.
ThisAmericanLife.org. This American Life is a good...
So that's This American Life. So check out This American Life episode from March 8th, 2026 to hear that whole report. It was pretty good. It's terrible stuff that the Trump-Putin terrorists, the kidnappers, are doing, but there's a pretty good report on that stuff. So hopefully it'll stop, and this will be stuff that we can research in history.
Learn more at odoo.com. That's O.
He always makes a joke at the end.
I'm from Progressive Insurance.
Nah. We'll wait for him to make his joke.
More at progressive.com.
Sorry, I just worry about that music in the background.
Comparison rates not available in all states. Mr. Troy Malatia, he was visiting the Castro recently. Went to a bar filled with big, hairy guys. Took one look around and said,
I think I've kind of walked into a bear trap here.
I'm Ira Glass. Back next week with more stories of This American Life.
I guess we could have guessed that's where they were going to go with that clip. Whoops, music again. You get 5 trouts? Congratulations on that purchase. Okay, I'm going to get going because I got to go.
This is CPR News. 90.1 FM.
Although I do kind of
KCFR
want to hear the
Denver,
news.
1490 AM KCFC Boulder.
We'll give it a couple
HD
more minutes.
At 90.1 FM and on your smart speaker, say play CPR News.
Good deal for some trout.
Indy 102.3 is discovery every hour of every day. Indy 102.3, a service of Colorado Public Radio.
It's a pretty good station.
If you have a car you're ready to part with, have you thought about donating it to Colorado Public Radio?
I'm gonna
Car
sneeze.
donations from listeners like you are a really important part of CPR's funding, and it's easy to do. Just fill out a form, schedule a pickup, and supply the title. Soon your car will be on its way to help fund the fair,
I'm just about to
fact-based
sneeze.
news reporting account out. Get started at cpr.org/support. And thanks.
From WHYY in Philadelphia, I'm Terry Gross with Fresh Air Weekend. Today, Jessie Buckley. She may win an Oscar a week from Sunday for her starring role in Hamnet. She's already won a Golden Globe. She plays William Shakespeare's wife, facing conflicts in their marriage and the death of their son. After portraying a grieving mother, Buckley found out she was pregnant.
The thing that this story offered me, that brought me into this next chapter of my life as a mother, was tenderness, and that was a word and a feeling that I think I didn't know was what I was looking for
Also, documentary filmmaker Morgan Neville tells us about his new documentary, Man on the Run, which focuses on Paul McCartney's life and music after the breakup of the Beatles. Horror reviews a Japanese film about a gangster's son who dreams of being a star in kabuki theater. First news.
Okay, here comes the news, then we'll go.
Live from
So only
NPR
live
News
for
in
like 3 more
Washington,
minutes.
I'm Janine Herbst. The war in the Middle East is escalating with strikes on critical infrastructure. For the first time in the war, Israel has targeted Iranian oil storage facilities in Tehran, and Iran has attacked a desalination plant in Bahrain. NPR's Daniel Estrin has more from Tel Aviv.
This appears to be the first time Israel has targeted a civilian oil facility in Iran. An Iranian news agency reported at least 4 tanker drivers were killed. The Israeli military says Iran made frequent use of that oil storage facility to operate military infrastructure. Iran's foreign minister said a U.S. airstrike damaged an Iranian desalination plant for the first time. Also for the first time in the Gulf, a desalination plant in Bahrain was damaged in an Iranian drone attack. These attacks on energy and water infrastructure are a significant escalation in the war. The region depends on desalinated seawater for drinking water, and much of the world relies on oil from the Gulf. Daniel Estrin, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
The EU's
Newsflash.
top officials have invited Mideast leaders
War's
to
gonna
a
backfire.
virtual meeting tomorrow to talk about the escalating conflict in the region.
Don't side with
Terry
Trump.
Schultz reports it's the second such call in the last several days.
European Council President Antonio Costa
Siding with
says
Trump and
he,
Putin would
together
be a
with
big
Commission
mistake.
President Ursula von der Leyen, decided to call the meeting with Mideast counterparts, quote, in view of the fast-evolving security situation in the region. The virtual conversation will give the two sides a chance to share their assessments of the broadening conflict in Iran and neighboring countries and how to end it, along with the possibility of more support from the EU. Leaders from individual countries will not be participating. Foreign ministers from the 27 EU governments held a virtual discussion on the situation with their counterparts from the Gulf Cooperation Council last Thursday, with most representatives calling for more dialogue and diplomacy, while emphasizing that Gulf states have the right to defend themselves against Iran. For NPR News, I'm Terry Schultz in Brussels.
Global crude
Better
oil
hope Iran
prices
doesn't defend
surged
itself
past
against us like
$100 a
Israel
barrel
did
for the first time
for the
in
next
4
however
years.
many years.
NPR's Camila Dominowski has more.
The Strait of
Okay.
Hormuz, a key waterway for the oil trade, remains effectively closed. The U.S. government has offered shipowners insurance and naval escorts for the passage, but the money available would only cover a fraction of the need, and companies are wary of risking ships and the lives of their crew. Attacks against infrastructure also continue, including Israel's attacks on oil facilities in Tehran over the weekend. An analyst with the app Gas Buddy says the average price of gasoline in the U.S. is likely to hit $4 this week. It was under $3 before the war began. Camila
$4.
Dominowski,
Here we go.
NPR News.
Inflation
Crude oil
City.
is trading higher at $113.31 a barrel. U.S. futures
Whoa,
contracts sharply lower.
$113?
Dow futures down more than 2%.
Yep.
down
Stock
more than
market's gonna
1,000
crash.
points. You're listening to
Dow
NPR
went down
News
another
from
1,000. It
Washington.
was down like 800 yesterday.
Absolutely tiny
What happened if
things
Dow goes
called
down
winter
1,000?
grain mites are
The president's
creating
supposed to
a huge
resign.
problem in wheat fields in Washington state. Hordes of the pests are
Okay,
crawling all
we're gonna
over
shut it
Lincoln
down.
County. Northwest Public Broadcasting.
Good luck with the mites.
Anna King has more.
Winter grain mites actually like a cool, mild winter. And in the Northwest, that's just what they've gotten. Now, millions of
Lucky
little
mites.
arachnids are damaging fresh wheat leaves. The mites suck the plants dry,
So we're gonna
leaving
have,
whole
like,
fields brown. Jamie
Food
Douglas
shortages,
is a farmer in
inflation,
Lincoln
war,
County. He says many farmers are now
pestilence,
bombing the mites with
poverty.
pesticides using planes.
It's frustrating to have to spend a bunch of money right now to go out and spray something that we've actually, in my knowledge, we've never had an issue with these before.
The mites
Global
look
warming.
like tiny black
You're gonna have a lot of new
spiders with reddish
issues until we
legs.
stop the global
For
warming and
NPR
reverse it.
News, I'm Anna King.
At the weekend box office, Disney and Pixar's
Oh, yeah,
animated
go Hoppers.
environmental adventure Hoppers debuted in the top spot with an estimated $46 million in ticket sales. The film has made $88 million globally against a $150 million production budget. In second place, Paramount's Scream 7 with $17 million. And in third place, Warner Brothers' The Bride struggled, debuting with just $7 million.
I wish I saw
That
Aurora.
film cost $80 million to produce.
There was an Aurora movie,
Wall
Aurora, What
Street
Happened to the Earth,
futures
for a
contracts
concert in
are trading lower
Mexico
this
City. I wish I saw it, but it had to work. All right, time to go.
I'm Janine Herbst, NPR News in Washington.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the
Congratulations to Hoppers. I want to see it. It'll be fun.
Supporting books, radio, podcasts, film, television, theater, and more to bridge science and the humanities. And the listeners who support this NPR station.
Checking the news first thing might feel like a lot, but staying informed should be approachable. And really, sometimes it should make you smile. Hey, it's A. Martinez.
And I'm Bazi Kanani. Join us for a conversation about keeping things grounded, even under deadline, in a daily news podcast, Colorado Today Live with Up First and A. Martinez.